So we just had Hackathon 0. It was great. Apparently, so it's not the best time to do demos, but it was the only available time during this week that was open at noon. So first up is Jigar with his Mario game.
All right, cool. So, all right. So in my team, we have I think 5 players. All right, in my team there were like 5 players. Ashima, 5 people. I'm not a member. Ashima, Michael, Alex, Andrew, and myself. So we wanted to do something fun, and of course we wanted the game. There's a framework JavaScript game engine called Quintus, so, and we looked into that, and it looks really simple. So we wanted to make like some kind of game in that. So what we ended up deciding to do is kind of Mario theme, but instead of using the Mario characters, we wanted to use real characters. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is Alex standing with beer and donuts in his hand. So we created like a sprite of Alex with like different positions, so we can like simulate that. It's not the best sprite. I think we might be missing one frame over there, but it works. And in Reach we have different teams, and different teams have their kind of hold on, let me kill this guy first. All right, so different teams have their own mascots, if you will. So we took a picture of those mascots and made them as an enemy in here. So this, I don't even know what this mascot is, so those basically don't do anything. If you look at on top of the screen, there's a health and the fireballs. You start with a really low health, and as you can tell from the health bar, as you take beers, you get I think 20 fireballs. So the number increases. And we have different enemies. Let's go all the way on the top. So this one is a blue dragon, which is the team that I work on. So it's basically jumping around and as dragons do, they just spit fire. So that's
As dragon do.
Let me just kill that if you can. Yeah, we have funny fireballs, by the way. All right, and this is a mushroom, just like Mario. When you eat the mushroom, you increase the health, I think, by 300. So, well, it's total 300. So you get 200 extra health. So as you can see, the bar also increases based on their health as well. These are penguins. Penguins just like sit at one place and just throw a snowball in your direction. They're really stupid. Let me just kill a... Wow. Wow. It's too much work. And you get more beer.
Oh, it's a narwhal at the bottom.
And at the bottom there's a narwhal. Narwhals are special. They're very territorial. So if they see you in the range, they freak out. Like as you can see, like those two at the bottom, they're like very calm right now. But as soon as they see you, they just want to like kill you with their the spike. So we intentionally made this really easy so that I can clear the stage. Anyway, and as everybody knows, so now okay, I hope not die here. Alright, there you go. So there is a door here. As soon as you enter the door, it takes you to the next level. And oh god, okay, Michael is the boss here. So as you can see, we took a sprite of Michael. He charges real fast at you. And I think there's a bug with the boss right now. It just stuck in one place, but no, it should like go back and forth and have like different firepower. Somebody's gonna kill it. All right. So as you saw the game, it's just like crying sound. Anyway, and as soon as you reach to the princess, you won the game. So we wanted to make it more like. Couple of features we're missing. We wanted to make it multiplayer. We already have some changes for that in different branch, but we actually wanted to make use Socket.io for this and make this a multiplayer game, which is not done yet. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Cool.
So for my hackathon project, I decided to combine 2 passions of mine. One, of course, is unit testing, because unit testing is really awesome. And then the other is Roomy, which is a home automation framework that I work on. So I already have a bunch of stuff in my for my house, but I added some elements to my desk at Rackspace. I wanted to make it so that when I run unit tests, it turns on the party ball. So at first I thought, like, clearly it's gonna be really easy to just write something that like inspects Visual Studio's state and like does stuff, and that did not work out. But I discovered that when I run unit tests, it starts up a specific process. So I added a feature to Roomy. This is a definition of not the one that I want. Okay, I can't see that, it's too far away. There we go. I made a command called wait until process running, and it takes a name if you want the process to be running and a poll interval, and it basically just blocks until the process is running or not running. And then I wrote this Roomy script. So in a loop, it waits until the process is running, turns on the party ball, wait until the process isn't running, and then turns off the party ball. So when I run unit tests, it's a party! So yeah, I run this all the time on my dev machine now, and it's great. So.
My team was me and Matt Brown, and we also had special guest appearance with Kevin Widener and David. We also wrote a game, but we used the Unity engine. And let me see if I can, there it is. Okay. So let me hit play, and I can kind of explain it while I go through it. So it's also kind of just a platformer game. Your special power here is that you can send out this pulsing ping wave around you. And well, you start going through the level normally and everything's fine, but it kind of ends here. Well, the game's going to be playing kind of off of light and sound, so there is actually a platform there. In order to see it, you have to set off your ping wave and just basically constantly figure out where things are, because from this point on, you can't see anything in the game unless you actually ping it. So I'm going to attempt to play the level. As you can see, it starts getting a little disorienting as you go through it. Yeah, well, that was a trick. What was that?
Where's the bottomless pit?
That's not in version 1. I just kind of tried to make a blind jump, but I suck at this, so let me just get to the end. It gets a little tricky towards the end. Oh, dang it. Okay, well, it also gets tricky there because I'm just going to cheat. Okay, there. Okay, just believe me. I just fell out. I'll actually show you what I'm cheating by looking at the level designer thing here. But here's where it gets tricky: is that well, your ping can also show you like tips and text on the screen, and they kind of fade away like that. But right here is there's a moving platform, so you see as I ping, the position is moving. So, and that's only the location it was where you ping. So if I ping it, I could be standing here and it's moving me away even though it's pinged over there. So it gets kind of tricky like that. A way around that is you have a second power where you can send out like a frontal wave, and this one will actually stick to your platforms if they're moving. And this one is also kind of tricky because it's, if I keep pinging, you'll see it, the platform's moving up and down. Well, it's kind of hard to see maybe if I ping from here. See, the wave is kind of going up and down. So if I just did it just lock up, that's great. Oh, I clicked pause again, sorry. Let me see if I can get up. Okay, I need to stop clicking pause. Oh, I'm hitting the Windows key. I'm just an idiot. Okay, click on this window. Alt. That's the Windows key again. So maybe I would try and not use the Windows key, but yeah, I just made it. So up here is just the end. It says the end. But how it's cool is Unity is kind of this game engine that gives you a lot of stuff, and the main thing was trying to figure out the collision detection and getting those little ping waves to work. But if let me see this here. This is how I was cheating, is that if you actually open up the game engine, you can see how we designed it, and I was kind of just cheating by looking in there. So that's what the level actually looks like without the light. And that's pretty much it.
My name is Michael, by the way. I'm new here, but I wrote this small little utility. It's actually up on GitHub. One thing you should know about me is I hate inefficiency. I love the keyboard, and so I use Linux for everything keyboard, but then I like to develop in Windows, and it's not quite as keyboard driven, but I hate it every time I have to go to the mouse to switch windows or anything. And so you usually end up with a problem where you have I don't know how many windows open, and so I'm here and I need to go back to Firefox. How many alt tabs back is that? And then you're using the mouse or alt tabbing, and what's that? Windows tab is awesome, but still it's where is Firefox in here? Where? I don't know. So what I do is I've created this small little utility. It's running down here, and it just adds hotkeys. And so I have Control-F right now is bound to Firefox, brings Firefox up. Control-C goes to Chrome. If I hit it again, it cycles through my different Chrome windows. If they're minimized, it'll bring it back up or whatever, as you cycle through them. Because this is Win32 API is how I had to do this. That's actually a special case. That's why I wanted to tell you it's not that's built in. I have to actually add a special case just to make it unminimized, stuff like that. But and then the other thing I hate is modal interfaces where it's so let's say Firefox is closed. And I'm I need to go to Firefox. Now do I alt tab? No, it's not there, or whatever. Instead, I just hit my key, Control F. If it's not running, it launches it. If it's running, it jumps to it. So there's none of that cognitive burden of do I have to start it? Do I have to go find it? Where is it? If it's on another desktop. So yeah, it binds one key to starting the program if it's not open and switching to it if it's already open. And that's basically it.
Sweet.
And it's yeah. It's pretty basic, but it's up on GitHub if anyone wants to try it out. And it's just got an XML configuration file or JSON configuration file.
All right, so I had an idea for a while to build an app where it basically just combines a slew of different APIs to compile relevant data regarding this kind of cycles around congressional representatives, but relevant data regarding how they're publicly facing regarding Facebook feeds, Twitter feeds, things like that. So this just turned into a giant Angular spike. Yeah, this is the first time playing with Angular, so I didn't get too far with it, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. Demo. You can search through. This is basically all of the congressional representatives, U.S. congressional representatives. Search through by name or state. If I can spell. Oh my word. Okay. And it links to individual websites, things like that. And then this is supposed to be where all the Twitter feeds and stuff are, but didn't get to that, so it'll hopefully happen.
Where'd you get the information?
Actually, through GovTrack US has a really cool API. So yeah, pretty sweet. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
So it's not working because I actually don't have an HDMI output on my laptop, but I basically wanted to make a portfolio, and one of my goals while I'm here as an intern is kind of to learn Angular, so I kind of combined those. I wasn't here for the whole hackathon, but basically I scaffold out a project using Yeoman, which is kind of like Angular seed. You can configure your grunt and bower files, which help you just run it locally and see the changes that you're making instantaneously. And Yeoman also lets you configure what extra modules you want for Angular. So I just got a project up. It just has like a static nav bar at the top, and it has like a blog, a resume, a hobbies, and an arcade tab. And then at the bottom, I just have like a little charm bar. If you go into hobbies, I have like a page which has like a shoe list, because I collect shoes, and you can search through it. It all uses Angular, like two-way data binding and stuff like that. And then they load from JSON objects that have routes in them, and I use the HTTP routing, which is like an extension of Angular, to just route to different pages that show like shoes that I have collected in that specific style. And then it just has like a resume page and a blog, stuff like that. Pretty basic, but I learned a lot about Angular, so that was cool.
All right. So I manage a couple of blogs, and one of the big issues I've run into on these blogs is that once you start embedding multiple YouTube videos, page performance just really slows to a crawl. And so when you're trying to scroll, it gets really choppy because there's just a lot of Flash players running or a lot of HTML5 content. So I created this small library in JavaScript that will go through a page and find those iframes and replace them with a static image of the thumbnail from YouTube. So it dramatically improves page performance. It works at any size. And then as soon as you click on it, it loads the video from YouTube and starts playing. So really the user isn't bothered with that content until they want it. So that was my hackathon.
Why are we pretending? Because this hooks up to the bear. Sam, what do you have against the bear?
I'm just eating a hot dog.
Yeah, well, the bear wants a hot dog too.
No, we ran out. We ran out of hot dogs.
It's not gonna
Are
be
you filming this?
What? No, why would we film this? You're not bright enough.
No, of course not. Let's go with the ball.
Oh boy, what did I win?
Folks, this is John Armstrong. What are you working under?
I'm working on a rewrite of webmail notes.
Do you realize that my mic is plugged up to my computer? Andrew talking to my computer.
That's good, so you can't hear anything I'm saying?
I don't know, maybe. Depends if Andrew's recording or not.
Okay.
John Armstrong, everybody, yeah. And he told me that he's working on his project, although it's already completed.
Yeah, I did it because, and I finished it. It was pretty easy.
What made it so easy for you?
I'm just a really smart guy.
Really smart guy and pretty freaking awesome. David McGrath, folks.
That's not actually right.
Okay.